Once again, I have to excuse the mess that the bed is right now. Just thought of this making this video a couple hours ago. Um, just enjoying this Memorial Day weekend here. It's still Saturday, so I still have plenty of time to take care of things around the house and game and watch movies and television shows and just simply relax. It was a very slow week last week at work. So, yeah. But anyways, on to the reason why I'm making this video. Gonna talk about and show the different box variants for Genesis games that I own, and I think I own all three versions. If there's any other versions out there, please guys let me know. And this is the how the Genesis games looked at the Genesis Genesis launch, I should say. Genesis, really. This is the black and gray grid box. They're kind of faint, but you can see the grid here. The plastic on these earlier games, I noticed, kind of tends to get cloudy. And I do have another example of this, but it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, I guess you can see the grid better on the spine. And this type of grid reminds me of the blue and white grid present on Master System games. And I really thought that the artwork on the fronts of those games was very generic, very plain. I didn't really care for it all that much. But I pick up a few Master System games depending on the price. And the only way I can play Master System games is with the Mega SG, with the MS adapter. I think that's what it was called, or a Master System adapter. I don't see myself buying a Master System. It's just not. There's not enough games on the system for me to play. Ones that I didn't even grow up with the Master System, so didn't know anyone that had one. I've still currently never played one. Thought about buying one a while back, but yeah, just don't see myself doing it. But anyways, yeah, interesting boxes, love them. And then the next iteration that came out was they decided to ditch the grid and just make a full, nice big full frame cover here. But actually, it is cropped with the red barbershop type stripes here, and that continues on the back. Quite interesting. Once again, I guess this one didn't fade as much. This is a later release on the Genesis. Got 94, I believe. Yes, 94. So, and these two items just came in today. They're kind of delayed coming to me, but here is this is very. The cardboard boxes came later in the Genesis life, close to the end of it. I guess Sega really started cheaping out. I mean, I really enjoy the VHS style clamshells for these, but yeah, Vector Man, excellent game. First played it on. I may have played this game back in the day, probably at the babysitter's house. Her son had a Model 1 Genesis that we played a lot. Or maybe it was a Model 2. Yeah, I think it was a Model 2. I don't remember exactly. But anyways, yeah, these boxes are interesting. I had never owned one. I had seen them in the past, remembering them from other YouTubers' videos back when I started getting back into retro gaming, which was in 2009. Very cool cover. But here's the back. Here's how they look. They kind of, you slide them out and they're in this cardboard sleeve here with a black and white manual. Kind of disappointing. But I've noticed a lot of the, like, I guess you call it greatest hits, or this is the mega hit series. A lot of the greatest hits type releases that came out of older games on the Genesis are still actually cheaper now than buying like the original black box games. So that's one thing to take note of. And if you're trying to build up a collection on the cheap, that's one good way to do it. And I've noticed those prices on eBay. That's not to say those prices may change, because they very well may. Same type of box, Toy Story 2. I'm sorry, Toy Story. Great 3D game. And I'll talk about these more in a pickups video, or actually review them. But interesting note, this game was made by Psygnosis. They're responsible for the Wipeout games, I believe, and especially the Destruction Derby game on PlayStation. So, yeah, very interesting boxes though. You know, they still hold up decent today. It would have been interesting to see Nintendo actually put their games in clamshell boxes instead of the cardboard ones. And I've seen people cut up the artwork and put it in there, or reprint it like on high quality, like glossy paper, and put them in a clear clamshell box. And I do have my Super Metroid game in a clear VHS style box. It actually came with that in the manual. And I thought about going that route, actually printing out all the, the fronts and the backs and the sides to Super Nintendo games, or buying them that way, having a company do everything for me. But in the end, I decided not to, and just stick with the originals. I do have some stuff like that I just mentioned. I did buy some of those for N64, a couple of SNES games, and I've shown all that stuff on the channel before. But yeah, just different box variants here I wanted to show of some great games. I may pick up some more of these if I find some more games that I like. So yeah, I think that's really it. I mean, the colors on here are really crisp too. Very good printing quality as well. But yeah, that's really it, guys. I do thank you for watching my boxed Genesis box variants video.